Welcome to MTB Cooking. Today we make 30 portions of Bolognese sauce. We make a huge batch to put in the freezer. So let's get started showing you how we cook up a huge batch of this delicious dish. First of all, we fry off some smoked bacon in cubes in some oil in a pan. Once golden brown and crispy, we add it to a bigger pan. And then in the same bacon fat, with a bit more oil, we can fry off the meat. It is minced beef, which of course is an essential part of a Bolognese sauce. We want the meat to become golden brown and sort of for the water to evaporate from the pan. And we do this in batches. That is due to the fact that it's gonna be a lot. We use quite some quantities of beef, and therefore we cannot brown off it all at once. It's gonna overcrowd the pan. So we do it in batches, and we of course add the browned off meat to the bacon up in the big pot. This is the second batch. We of course remember to salt and pepper thoroughly because the meat really needs this seasoning, and of course that is something we can do while frying it on the pan. Here we have a huge amount of white or yellow onions that we are also going to add to our bolognese. What we do here is we chop them up in chunks and then add them to a blender. The blender will help us really blend the onion so that it will be smaller pieces. But if we had to do this by hand, it would take us really forever. So in this case, and when making such a big portion, having a blender on hand is a really great tool. In the same pan that we browned off the meats in, we've added a bit more oil, and we're now going to brown off the onions. We want them to become golden brown and to really get that sweetness, flavor of sweetness into the onions. Once they are browned off, we add them to the big pot, and we of course do this in batches again because we do have a lot of onions for this dish. You can find all the measurements below the video. So now it's turn for the carrots that we just trim and cut into chunks. They're also going into the blender because we want to blend them up, make them a lot smaller in pieces, and then that's again a great thing to do in the blender. So here we have our carrot that is nicely chopped up in small pieces, and we're gonna fry the carrots again in the same pan with some more neutral oil. And here there is also a lot of sweetness to actually get in the carrots, so that's why we fry them off nicely to just heat them up and give them that little bit of frying. We do it in batches, as you can see. And to the last batch of carrots, we're actually adding in plenty of garlic. We had around 10 cloves here that also were minced. Then we added tomato puree or concentrate. It's going to give that nice tomato touch. We just want to heat that up a bit. We add some vinegar, in this case a red wine vinegar. And then we add some bouillon or stock, vegetable stock. That's going to help also to deglaze the pan. So here we actually try to get all the flavor out of the pan by adding the liquid, in this case the bouillon. And the bouillon, we do add the quantities below, but you can add in as much as you think is suitable for your dish. Let it all meet in the big pot, and then you're gonna wanna pour in some chopped tomatoes with the sauce or the juice that is in the cans. And it's a huge amount, so mixing it all around here, it's gonna take some force and a big spoon, but we definitely recommend you to just go all in here and use all the force and power you have in you. Add in some dried oregano and then leave this whole pot to cook for 2 hours on medium heat, or you just want it to simmer away. That's where you really get a lot of flavor. Afterwards, it's important to taste it, season it with salt and pepper to your liking. Make sure that it really does taste the way you want it to. Add in a little bit of sugar even, and we also recommend using soy sauce as a seasoner because it gives a great salty taste a bit more different than white salt. We served up a portion here to show you how it looks on just some nicely cooked pasta and with plenty of grated Parmesan cheese on top. We dug in, and we can assure you there is so much flavor to find in this meal. And the idea with this recipe is to show you how you can actually cook up a lot of portions at once. We cooked 30 portions. We divided the 30 portions up into bags to go into the freezer. So we had a couple of portions per bag and could then just pull this out whenever we needed great dinner, but didn't have the time to actually cook up such a flavorful batch. We have calculated the price, and each portion cost us around $2. So it is really a cheap way to get amazing tasting food that you know what it is, you know what went into it, no additives, no bad stuff. Thanks for having watched MTB Cooking with us today. We hope you liked our video and that you want to subscribe to our channel, give the video a like, and then we will see you next time in yet another video. Bye!